The lighting's a little crazy today, but gonna make do with it. I've had a pretty busy week and I've noticed that ever since I started making these video diaries, there's been so many subtle shifts in my life, and God has a funny way of doing that, of making things shift in my life where it just always seems to connect certain dots that at times I totally miss. For the last week, almost every single day, I've been woken up out of my sleep at around 5, 6, 7 a.m. and I've just had these ideas and these thoughts that have just been pressing on me, where I've had to get out my journal, note all these concepts. It's been hard to pick apart which I want to prioritize because I feel like they're all so expansive. One that has been on my mind within all of that is how, as much as we think we are the ones calling the shots, making our own decisions, doing these things to create our lives, it's not us, it's God, which is exactly why I've been woken out of my bed every single morning. That's exactly why I have to wait for my takeout order and I'm like, okay, let me pop into the thrift store, and a book like this that is literally reading me. I'm reading it, but this book is reading me. It literally fell off the shelf. I was trying to grab another book out, this one fell out, and then I was like, oh, what's this? Let me open it up. Opened it to the introductory paragraph. Immediately I was like, yes, yes, I need this book. I'll probably make a video about some of the concepts in this book because it is insane the impact that it has had on me so far, and I'm only just getting to the 4th chapter. It's crazy. So yeah, God has a funny way of putting things in alignment with my life, with your life, that guide you closer to your purpose. I've been seeing a lot of signs in my life and I just kind of wholeheartedly go with them. I wanted to talk about that, how as much as it is us, we are co-creators when it comes to the way our lives play out, but God always has his hand in behind the scenes. Today I want to talk about that. The more that you place your trust in God and understand the fact that things will always work themselves out, it allows for you to be present in your life. It gives you the opportunity to see those signs and to pursue them because you know at the end of the day it will work out. I've had such a divine presence in my life when it comes to seeing how things play out, and that's allowed for me to at times feel like the entire universe is conspiring for the greater good when it comes to me. Oh, this necklace every time. Oh my gosh. I truly believe that when we look at life in a way where we understand that everything is happening in a way that aligns us with God's favor, and we continue to take the steps forward, that's when the miracles happen. No matter how old you are, even if you're like 80, 90, 100 years old, you're still viewed as God's child, which means you need to trust God. When we tap into that childlike optimism and joy, that's when we find peace in life. Sometimes people look at me like I'm crazy, like I'm absolutely nuts, because I don't really react in ways that I guess I'm supposed to, or that like I'm expected to. I think I get more pressure and more judgment and more questioning from the people that are in my life, because they're like, why are you not mad? Why are you not panicking? Why are you so calm? At times I can be cold too. Like sometimes if it's like really bad, I'm like stoic, but that's just because I'm processing. But you still won't get an extremely emotional reaction from me because I just know it will all work out. If I do start to panic, if I do start to worry, God will always say to me, why are you worried? Like why are you worried, for real? Because this is what I have planned for you. If it was supposed to harm you, it would not be within my plans. If it was something you could not handle, it would not be in my plans. So you should rejoice. And at times I'm like, what the heck? Why should I rejoice? My brother-in-law just crashed my car. But actually, that's a really good example. A few years ago, 3 years ago, I got a call. I had lent my brother-in-law my car to go to work. Well, my former brother-in-law, whatever. He was frantic and he's like, I'm so sorry, I crashed your car. And I was like, are you okay? He was panicking. He was just overly apologetic. And my only concern at that time, what like struck me, this necklace, I love it, but it's a nuisance with my hair. But what was on my heart and my mind at the time was like, is he okay? Everything else did not matter. He was okay. The other driver was also okay. And the way God made this story play out was just like almost comical. This guy's always wanting to be around. Anyways, the other driver actually did not have a license, did not give any information. I don't know what they were doing, but that's between them and whoever. They didn't want anything to do with the situation. My brother-in-law was actually the one that had rear-ended somebody else. So we did our due diligence, went down to the police station, filed a report. They looked into it, nothing could be done, went through my insurance. We were with the same car insurance company. That I found out when the accident happened. So because of that, everything did not have to fall directly on me when it came to the responsibility of it. The car was written off. My brother-in-law, I believe, got the deductible. I don't even know about that stuff. That's not my scope. But anyways, no harm, no foul, everything was fine. Car was written off, which was super sad. But I was able to put a decent chunk down on the car that I have now. Everybody was like, why aren't you mad? You have no car, you have a child, you're a single mom. Everybody was acting as if like there was mass chaos going on, but I just didn't, I don't know. God just kept telling me, be calm. This is part of the plan. Be calm, it's okay. It'll all work out. So I'm scrolling online, find a car. My son always wanted an Audi. I know everybody pronounces it different, Audi, whatever. But my son always wanted an Audi because my dad only ever had them before. And he had like a little toy car one. And I was like, you think that's in my budget? Yeah, okay. And I actually was scrolling online and there was a posting and it was within my budget. And I was like, oh my gosh. I sent a quick email, went in person, put a deposit down right away. And I was like, wow, I'm getting something that I never thought I could have. It was advertised as the Q5, which is like the standard model of that 5-seater, comfortable, perfect. Then when I'm in getting all the paperwork, the owner of the dealership, who's the one that was selling me the car, had said, so I got the documentation for the car and it turns out it's actually the SQ5, which is the sports model of the car, which is actually valued at several thousands of dollars more, and the car was already marked below the current market value. So he's like, because I'm an honest man, I'm gonna honor the price that I gave you, but just know you are getting the best deal, and if you want to pull out, I will give you your deposit back right now, but just know that I'm gonna sell it for what it's actually worth if that's the case. And I was like, excuse me, no, give me it. So I bought it and I ended up saving even more than I had thought, and it all worked out. The moral of the story is always trust what God has coming for you, because it's always going to be something better than what you currently have. Even when there are setbacks, it's just to like project you forward. I have felt the influence of God in my life. There have been so many situations where I could have allowed myself to get into a state of depression and accumulate so many negative emotions that I could spew out into the world, but instead I try to bring a little more light into every single day, and it's done wonders for me. There are so many ways that society tries to put a cap on that when it comes to the hope that we have, as well as our ability to see life as something of abundance. And maybe it sounds impulsive, but for me, when it comes to anything that I want, whether it be a person, place, thing, it doesn't matter what it is. If I want something, I will go for it. And 9 out of 10 times, I get it. Because when you trust that something is meant to be yours, or to be something that you get to experience, and you already have that mindset, that's what you will receive. I feel like when you have that level of positivity, it's very rare that you will not get what you want as long as you go for it. And for myself, I really don't, like, I don't care. I'm not scared of rejection, whether it be for a job, whether it be in the sense of relationship, friendship. I see rejection as such a blessing. I know it's a common phrase, rejection is redirection. Even when I'm rejecting something, that's how I go about it. It's not something that I ever intend for people to take personally, but I'll be like, oh no, that's just not for me. I don't take it personal when I'm rejected. I see it as it's just not for me. When something is for me, I feel it, and usually it welcomes me back. At times I've been referred to as being assertive, which is cute. I like that term. But when people don't have that mindset, there's a lot of negative connotation that can come with that. I just go with the flow. It's not a big deal. I let everyone live their life, let bygones be bygones, because you don't need it. And also, usually rejection to me is a sign that something better is coming, so I get really excited when I get rejected from something. We as humans limit ourselves by fearing the outcome, by fearing rejection. And that's not the best way to live, in my personal opinion, because once you start to accept yourself as a whole, you don't really go looking to other people for that acceptance. There's nothing truly that we need to fear. Even when it comes down to death, I feel like when you truly believe that there is heaven on the other side of things, and you really understand that it is all part of God's plan for us, you feel this stillness. I feel it. Trusting God opens up so much potential for us. I feel like we need to take some time in our lives to connect the dots and see the bigger picture. Like, you know when you do those little activities where it just looks like a bunch of dots, but then when they all are connected, it's like a whole different thing? Yeah, I think that's how life works. God's the only one up there that sees the picture before all the dots are connected. And we just need to put our trust in him. I have so many stories about times where things did not work out how they were supposed to. And I can give a few tidbits. The car was one. Another really, really big one. And I think this is where everything set in for me, when that like peace that I felt was instilled and people started looking at me like I was straight up crazy because I was not reacting the way that they predicted for me to react. But back in the pandemic, my former partner and I, we invested some money into crypto. We did not have much at that time. He invested. I will say it was all him, but I trusted him because that's just me. I'll just do your thing. But the little investment that he had made over a span of a couple days went from a couple $100s to the exact amount. I'm gonna see if I can find and insert a screenshot just because people won't believe me. And that's okay if you don't, but like it was insane. It just was going up like crazy. Like we were both like in shock. I don't know if I have a screenshot from there, but it went up to over $260,000. And he was extremely optimistic. Felt like it was gonna hit $1 million, and I was like, if you feel like keeping it, keep it. We can just continue to let it grow. It is what it is. But I'm telling you, when you see that type of money, knowing that it's accessible to you when you've never had that kind of money, it changes your whole perspective. I was like, I'm trusting you. It's okay. And it crashed. It crashed so bad. There was literally nothing left. And as it was going down, that's when I was like, if you want, we can pull it out now. And he's like, no, it's gonna go up. It's gonna go up. And I was just like, it's okay. And the fact that God even put that in my line of vision as something that can be for me, for my partner, for whoever, I am trusting that if everything goes now, everything will come back. Because even in those moments, when you're seeing numbers like that, even if it's not directly in your bank account, but it's in your like little wallet, whatever the crypto crap is, you start to think of all the things you would want to do with that. And everything that I was wanting to do, this is how I want to change lives of others, change my own life, help my family and things like that. Knowing that those possibilities came into fruition, I know that it'll come back in its own way. I don't know how, I don't know when, but I don't know, I'm still not fazed by it. But I feel like that could like break a person. That could bring a person to like doing all kinds of horrible stuff. But I was cool with it. I tried to be as supportive as I could to my partner, give him all the love that I could, and never once pointed any fingers at anyone for choosing to do whatever with that. Like, you can't. We're only human. We don't see the whole picture. Only God does, and gives us bits and pieces so that we can make sense of it all. But that was a big one. I feel like a lot of people in my life were like actually frustrated with me for not being frustrated, which is weird. But I don't know, it's just not who I am. And mark my words, there will be a time where I come back and I'm able to document the way that that blessing, that in ways felt like it like slipped through our fingers, is going to be something received tenfold, 100%. I am so confident in that. I truly believe that in my heart. But yeah, we need to just see that life, as much as it is in our hands, it also is not. And we need to also believe in our hearts that God, the universe, our angels are collectively working to create a life for us that aligns with a higher purpose. But you need to be ready to receive those gifts. You need to be prepared. You need to be healed. You need to go through those hard lessons before you can truly receive all that. I know if we received that 260 whatever $1,000 at that time, I know bad stuff would have came with it. So I'm cool on it. But you need to just trust that everything that's meant for you will come when it is meant to. Blessings will come in when they are meant to. Not just when we're asking for them. Not just when we're trying to force that. But also you need to be confident enough in yourself and in God that you take those risks and put yourself out there in ways that allow for those opportunities to come in. I will never allow an opportunity to pass me by. I'll allow it to reject me. It's cool. But I will not allow it to pass me by. And I'm very grateful that I have the ability to discern what is meant for me and what's not. Even when it comes to failed relationships, friendships, whatever, I feel like I have this level of peace to me that like it's not that I don't care. It's not that I don't care. That to me sounds incredibly negative, but I just trust that it's just how it's supposed to be. I feel like this is his way of like signing off. But yeah, I hope you get something from this. You look like an alien. You're so silly. You're so silly. You want to go play? You can't be popping your face up in the camera like that. Oh my gosh. But anyways, I hope that this resonates with you, and I hope that you're able to take some time to sit and think about where the dots in your life are connecting and try to see the bigger picture. I hope you guys all have an amazing day. I know I will, and even if it feels like it's not, it will be. It will be. You gotta just see the good. See the good. Bye.